The Toronto Maple Leafs are facing real pressure on the blue line, and the absence of Chris Tanev has forced the front office into difficult territory. Losing their top shutdown defenseman created an immediate hole, and now general manager Brad Treliving is working against the clock to stabilize the back end before the season slips away. Finding a true replacement is easier said than done. The market is thin, and reliable defensive defensemen rarely become available without a high price tag. Still, one potential option is beginning to stand out. Chicago Blackhawks veteran Connor Murphy could be a realistic target, especially with Chicago looking to give experienced players a chance to compete in meaningful games. Murphy brings exactly what Toronto is missing. He is not flashy, and he is not known for driving offense, but he plays heavy minutes, defends well, and thrives in shutdown situations. With 1 year remaining on his contract, his cap hit is manageable, and his style fits a clear need rather than a luxury want. A possible one-for-one swap could make sense for both teams. Toronto would gain stability on the blue line, while Chicago would receive a forward who helps them reshape their roster. The cap implications are close enough that the deal works financially, especially if Toronto needs flexibility sooner rather than later. Murphy may not be the puck mover the Leafs have talked about targeting, but right now, defensive reliability matters more than transition play. Everything, however, hinges on Chris Tanev's health. His recovery timeline will dictate how aggressive Toronto can be. If Tanev is expected back later in the season, cap space becomes a looming problem. Activating him for the playoffs would force difficult roster decisions, making any mid-season addition risky. If Tanev is ruled out long-term, the picture changes completely. A season-ending designation would open the door for Toronto to add a defender like Murphy without sacrificing a roster player. In that scenario, draft picks could even become the centerpiece of a deal instead of a direct roster swap. Right now, the organization is waiting for clarity. Tanev's groin injury and the possibility of surgery carry major implications. A delayed return could stretch into the postseason or end his season altogether. While that outcome is far from ideal, certainty may actually help Toronto make cleaner decisions. Until answers arrive, the Maple Leafs remain in limbo. The need for a dependable replacement is obvious, and the pressure to act is growing. Whether Connor Murphy becomes that solution depends on health updates, cap math, and how much risk Toronto is willing to take. One way or another, the Leafs' no standing still is not an option.